Alright, quick update on Solana. So if you've been watching my videos, you know I've been outlining this possible scenario of a triple bottom. This is really, the last hope for Solana. Now, why I kind of estimated it would be really good if we had a triple bottom is because previously we had a massive bull run, made an all-time high, came crashing down. We came down like 69%. We made a triple bottom structure, and then we were off to the races. We had a bull run. Once again, made an all-time high, came down 69% so far, and well, to this low down here, it's a little bit more now. So, no, to be fair, this is still. Wait, let me move this down. Oh no, so it's, let's see, 71%. So if I move this back, I don't know what fib I just moved, but I probably shouldn't mess with it. But pretty much we've done the exact structure bar a 2% move. We've still got this triple bottom in place, and if you've been watching, I said worst case scenario. We kind of come down to here, potentially even wick to 69. 69 is really the last level in the sand. If we do lose 69, then I do think things would get very bearish in the short term, and that is obviously coming from someone who holds a lot of Solana. So I am just I don't appreciate, or I don't like looking at the chart and seeing Solana like potentially on its deathbed. But right now it's still holding up pretty well. If we do zoom out, we are above the 786. So the 786 comes into place at 72. That would also nicely line up with this trend line that we've got down here. So one touch point, two touch points, three touch points, hopefully a triple bottom at 71, 72. If we don't do that, then honestly my last line in the sand would be $69. If we do drop below 69, then in my opinion this triple bottom would really not be valid anymore, and we would have to start considering lower price targets. Now, the first lower price target is the 1.618 down here at 55. This also nicely lines up with this previous high that we've got over here. And what really gets messed up after that is, once we do lose this level, this entire bull run has been invalidated, which is not what I want to see at all. Obviously, I am a massive Solana bull in the macro term. I do think even if we came back down to like, to these lows down here, which I'm not predicting is going to happen, but I do think if we do something like that, Solana would still be fine in the future. But obviously, I'm trying to give you my unbiased perspective. What I can see right now is we are setting up a head and shoulders. Now, I do think this is going to break to the downside, just because specifically I do think we're going to be coming down to 72 to 69. Hopefully this will be your last line in the sand to triple bottom, but what happens then is if we come up and backtest this trend line at 78, 79, at that point, we would really need to see a break above it and then start to running up. If we don't do that, if we come down to 69, come back, backtest this trend line, then it is going to be very, very shaky in the short term, which obviously I don't want to see. So let me tidy this up a tiny bit. This is my last line in the sand. A scenario like this, a retracement to 69, and then a push up. If we don't do something like this, then I will be flipping bearish on Solana, unfortunately, at least in the short to mid term. And obviously this will tie up with what's going on with Bitcoin. So if we come over to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is breaking down now. So your last line in the sand for Bitcoin is really to do something like this. Make like a W pattern, which would bring us down to 37. I think just eyeballing it, that would probably bring Solana down to here. So this is your last line in the sand. Keep an eye on what's going on with Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin does look like, if we spend another day or two, especially another 3 days, this inverse head and shoulder is going to be gone. In my opinion, we need to turn up tomorrow latest. Being somewhat conservative, I'd say if it goes sideways for another day or two, we could still put in a structure like this and break out. But if it's what's the point now? If it comes to Sunday and we haven't started to see massive momentum back to the upside, then in my opinion we would be falling off the table. If we come over to the Bitcoin shorts as well, they are up 229%, which is not what you want to see at all whenever we do break above this red trend line box over here, or this big rectangle red box. We normally do go on an absolute parabolic run on the shorts, which means at least in the short term, Bitcoin will fall off the table. And I think if Bitcoin falls off the table, Solana will get hit very, very hard in the short term. And, it might be off the table to expect Solana to recover within, a couple of months. I think if Bitcoin breaks down, or specifically if these shorts start spiking up, Bitcoin will break below all of the levels that we want to hold, at which point we may have to start talking about scenarios like a bear market. Your last line in the sand for Bitcoin is 37,000 in my opinion. If we do lose that 37,000, I do think we're going to enter a short-term bear market down to between 30 to 31,000. So all in all, this is really your last line in the sand. Bitcoin needs to W out, otherwise Solana will not have this triple bottom, and if we do fall through 69, I will be expecting targets of 55. If we then, you know, lose this, you know, it's anyone's game at that point. We could be coming down to 44, we could be coming down to 26, we could even be coming down to 20 or 15, but you know, these are really bearish targets, so we will discuss those at a later point in time. Even in the most bearish scenario that I see playing out, I don't really think that Solana would break too much below 55. I think worst case scenario, you know, we really just trend sideways and bleed out for a very long time, but that scenario has not come yet. We still do have the potential of triple bottoming. If Bitcoin turns around tomorrow, we could make a very nice structure like this. And like I said, I mean, just looking at where these charts line up, 69 is really your last line in the sand. That's pretty much a psychological level for Solana traders as well. If you don't know what I mean by that, if you go over to Solana NFTs, most people price their NFTs for like 420, 69. 69 is a big cultural number in Solana. That's pretty much a joke, though. I don't think this really would be a psychological level. That is just a joke. But this is really your last line in the sand. Once we do drop below 69, it is going to get very shaky in my opinion. So let's hope that we bounce from here. Worst case scenario, we really need to bounce between 70, 72, you know, 69. Like I said, worst case scenario 69. If we lose 69, we're going to start falling off the table very harshly. And you know, I necessarily wouldn't hate that too much because I would get the opportunity to buy cheaper Solana, but at least in the short term I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'm mainly accumulating Bitcoin because I do believe if Bitcoin starts falling off the table, Solana will fall off the table, and then, you know, potentially we outline this last Solana video, we could see anywhere between, that is the 786, we could see anywhere between a 23 and a 28% to 29% drop on Solana priced against Bitcoin. So I will be sitting on the sidelines holding Bitcoin until Bitcoin makes a decision. If Bitcoin starts breaking out parabolic, I would need to see a break above 46,000. Then I would use my Bitcoin to buy Solana. On the flip side, if Bitcoin breaks below 37,000, I will just be spot accumulating Bitcoin and expecting Solana to lose a lot of its price against Bitcoin. So once again, last line in the sand is 69. If we lose 69, things are going to get very ugly. So that is all I see for Solana. If you are holding Solana, best of luck to you. Once again, none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Peace.